What if I told you that the chocolate bar you love might soon cost more or shrink in size? Across the globe, the cacao industry is facing a crisis. Diseases, pests, and rising costs are making cacao harder and more expensive to produce. Let's go behind the scenes of the world's biggest chocolate factories, explore the history of cacao beans, and understand how these challenges are shaping the future of chocolate. Behind some of the world's most beloved chocolate brands like Snickers and M&M's are massive factories producing tens of thousands of tons of chocolate every year. In just 4 days, these factories produce enough chocolate to match the weight of the Statue of Liberty. But there's a growing problem. Cacao beans, the lifeblood of chocolate, are getting harder and more expensive to produce. Cacao trees have a long and fascinating history. They're native to Central and South America, where they've been cultivated for thousands of years. The ancient Maya and Aztec civilizations held cacao in high regard, using its beans as currency and in sacred rituals. Cacao was not just a food, but a symbol of wealth and power. The beans were ground into a bitter, frothy drink called zocolatl, often mixed with spices like chili and consumed by the elite. When Spanish explorers arrived in the Americas in the 16th century, they brought cacao back to Europe, where it was transformed into the sweetened chocolate we know today. Over time, cacao cultivation spread to tropical regions worldwide, including West Africa, which now dominates global production. But despite its global popularity, cacao farming remains labor-intensive and vulnerable to environmental challenges. Today, the same cacao trees that have fueled this centuries-old industry are under threat. Farmers like Joseph Sassou in Ghana, one of the world's largest cacao producers, are struggling. Joseph's 17-acre farm used to yield abundant, healthy pods filled with the pearly white beans that become chocolate. But more and more of his pods are turning black or being covered in white fuzz, a sign of swollen shoot virus, a deadly disease that's spreading rapidly across cacao farms. Swollen shoot is incurable and spreads through tiny mealybugs that feed on the sap of cacao trees. Once infected, a tree may survive for a few years, but its productivity drops drastically before it eventually dies. This leaves farmers with two options: replant and wait years for new trees to mature, or abandon cacao farming altogether. Adding to the challenge is climate change. Cacao trees thrive in very specific conditions, needing just the right amount of rain and shade to grow. Too much or too little rain can ruin a harvest, and rising temperatures are forcing farmers to adapt or relocate their farms to higher altitudes. The journey from cacao bean to chocolate bar is a complex process. After harvesting and fermenting the beans, they are dried, roasted, and ground into cacao liquor. This liquor is then processed into chocolate in factories worldwide. Each step in the process adds costs, which are rising due to supply chain disruptions, higher transportation fees, and expensive fertilizers. What it means for chocolate lovers. For consumers, this means higher prices and smaller products. Some companies are turning to shrinkflation, reducing the size of candy bars while keeping prices the same. Others are raising prices outright. Premium chocolates may become even more exclusive as companies pass these costs on to customers. Despite these challenges, the industry isn't giving up. Researchers are developing disease-resistant cacao varieties, and some farmers are adopting more sustainable practices to protect their crops. However, these solutions take time, and the challenges of disease and climate change remain pressing. So the next time you unwrap a piece of chocolate, remember its incredible history, from the sacred drinks of ancient civilizations to the industrial-scale production of today. It's a story of innovation, resilience, and, unfortunately, growing challenges. Will chocolate become a rare treat in the future? Only time will tell. If you found this story interesting, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind our favorite foods. Let us know in the comments, what's your favorite chocolate and would you pay more to enjoy it?